first guide that I'm going to just give you an insight into is one on ethics. Okay, so in order to engage in research-informed practice, it's very important that we consider the ethics of the research that we're going to carry out. In order to be able to understand ethics, there are a few underpinning principles that are very important, and what this guide actually does is it gives you, so you can see here in this first column, it sort of gives you what these underpinning principles are, just to give you an insight into that so you understand them. So it's things like, for example, how you might gain informed consent. So if you're going to work with children in your school, how do you get informed consent from the parents? How do you ensure that all the things that you do are to the highest possible ethical standards? One underpinning theme of ethics is this idea, a bit like medicine, of doing no harm. But I think there's an even bigger idea that we could consider as well, as how can ethics ensure that we do some good? So how can we move our practice forward so that we're actually going to make a difference in the lives of the students that we're working with? Some other themes that you might want to consider are, how do you ensure that the people, the participants that you work with, whether it be members of staff, students, children, how do you ensure anonymity, confidentiality, and also this new theme that's coming relatively recently of GDPR compliance? So how do you ensure that your research meets all these underpinning ethical criteria? And one thing that you might want to consider as well is, how can you engage with participant voice? So it's quite important that participants are enabled to talk to you in an open way so that they understand what's going on, but they can sort of share their voice and tell you what they really think. And also that while you're going through this process, that you empower them through the process. Now, some of the themes here, so you can see the ethics in practice, the middle column, is talking about, how you would turn some of these principles that I've been just talking about into practice. So when you click on some of these links, so it just shows how it works. So it's not very easy to see on this screen, but you can see each of the links that you click on is live, and then it'll take you through to a section in the MESH guide, and then it gives you some ideas and examples so that you understand, what this might look like when you're trying to turn it into practice. There is a section as well on practical challenges, and when you are aiming to engage with the ethics in your research and to get these high standards of ethics, there are some things that you'll find are tricky and not as easy as perhaps you would like, but life's a bit like that. So it's really good that we can, I think with COVID, that we've learned how to overcome challenges. So it's just a bit more along those lines. So if we can overcome practical challenges with ethics, that's brilliant. And this is just some ideas for actually how to enable you to do that. Okay, so that's the ethics mesh guide. So